Hi, my name is Brooke Markapichis. I'm the founder and CEO here at Owlbee. And if you've been watching this whole series so far, we are on our second to last video. We're going to talk about onboarding for a freelancer. So if you've been following along this series, we've been talking about how to prepare and how to outsource effectively and when to know when you should be pulling this trigger to actually make your first or next hire. And so this video, we're going to talk specifically about how to onboard a freelancer without feeling that overwhelm and that stress. And if you go back to our first video where we talked about that time analysis and you wrote down all of those things that you're doing with your time and those big projects on the horizon, this is where you started to establish that ability to create those Loom videos and those SOP, those standard operating procedure documents. And what you're going to want to do now is make sure that you fill in any of those holes. So if you've not created a Loom on a certain step that needs to be created, or you haven't written out the steps for the freelancer that's going to be taken over, this is a great time to do that and go ahead and get those things prepared. You obviously won't be able to account for everything. Something will come up, a question will come up. But what's really good is if you have that document that you can prepare and give to the freelancer before your first call, it's going to make that first call really efficient and really successful that will allow you to kick off freelancing in a really great way. It will also help you to really set a tight scope. So an exact scope of work of what you want to be completed during that hourly block or during that project that you're about to start with that freelancer. So it helps to establish some of those boundaries, those deliverables, and it all comes from that time analysis that you did, and then those Looms and Google Docs or however you laid it out. One of the things that is really nice in our Owlbee platform that I talked about a little bit in the last video, where I talked about how to make that low risk outsource, is that we provide weekly reports. So once you're onboarded and you're in our platform here at Owlbee and you're getting to going with a freelancer, what's really nice is that you're going to see how they're spending their time. If they're spending their time after that first week or so, and it seems like it's going a little bit longer than you thought, definitely flag that and make sure you're asking the freelancer, hey, is this something I could give you more resources on, or was my Loom not very clear? It's a two-way street with freelancing. And at Owlbee, we really try to manage and support both sides and catch anything that we can in that early communication or in those early, back and forth interactions and in the weekly reports. But sometimes we miss stuff too. And so I really encourage you to be proactive as the hiring manager of a freelancer, is that you are really looking over those weekly reports. So they come to your email every single week on Friday morning. You look at it, and if you're like, whoa, this seems off, this is a great document for you to then address with that freelancer and go, hey, I think, item number 3 that you tracked, maybe that was a really long time. Is there anything I can do to support you? So instead of going, why did you charge this amount of hours for this? Maybe there's a disconnect. Maybe there is something that you didn't provide for them. It also could be their fault for sure. But I think it's really nice when you can come and you can ask those questions to each other for your next interaction, for that next week that comes into play for those hours. It is your responsibility to let us know if you are seeing a problem with that freelancer. The sooner, the better. So we can help intervene and you don't lose that time. Because remember, here at Owlbee, we can rematch you or refund you. So refund during the first week or rematch at any time. So I always encourage our clients to not feel bad about letting us know that there might be a problem. Maybe it's something we can fix. If you let us know soon enough, oftentimes it's just a very little switch that needs to be addressed that we can bring up with the freelancer and with you, and everything's good to go. But sometimes it's not a good match and we need to make a new match. So I encourage you to make sure that as you're looking over those weekly reports, if there's something that's a red flag to you, let us know. Also, let the freelancer know if you feel comfortable. If not, we can help to kind of massage and support that conversation and communication. The other thing with onboarding is it is a process in that first block of hours that you have, or that first project that you have. So give yourself grace and give the freelancer grace as you guys get to know each other and how each other work. If you've done this prep work of creating these looms or creating these documents and really thinking through what you're going to be outsourcing and getting a good expectation of what that ROI is going to be, then it's going to go really well. But make sure that you're communicating during that onboarding. Really focus on communication and block some time in your schedule to make sure that you have time to do that. So let's say you end up hiring somebody with Allaby, you're matched on Monday with the freelancer, and you have your first call on Wednesday. I would make sure that you block off some time on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that week, and maybe even one the next week, even for 15, 20 minutes, just to make sure if anything comes up, you're able to address it and help make sure that that freelancer is moving along quickly and effectively as they're onboarding with you as a new freelancer. Those are my top tips. I hope that you will consider making your first or your next outsource, and feel free to check us out here at allaby.com. We would love to have you as a client, but just take these ideas even into the freelancers that you're working with currently, or ones that you want to hire on, or even people that are in person with you in your workforce. It's really important to have that communication, onboard effectively so you can save time, and it allows you to stay in your zone of genius so you can start making more money on those revenue generating activities. I look forward to getting to know you more as you might join us here at Allaby as a client. Definitely, if you haven't watched all of the videos in the series, go back and watch it. It is 1 through 5 of the main videos. And then in the next video, it will just be a wrap up to share more about how you can get involved here at Allaby. Good luck with your outsource.